それぞれの悲しみがあって言えない涙がある In the rain 見えるものと見えぬもの静かに目を凝らして帰る場所はどこにある心はないこのままそれぞれの行く先があって心に秘密の場所誰も知らぬ朝降り注ぐ光は来るだろうか Even in theそれぞれに幸せがあるの心はそこへ向かうきっとこの胸に降り注ぐ光はあると思う In the
Okay, I'm back, and I believe I got it working. That took way too long. It took me about an hour just searching, trying to figure it out. Having to go through a bunch of registry stuff, so... yeah. It better be good. And yeah, this place always rains, or something. Show the text.
クリス、
Yes!
そちらは今も雨が降っていますか？
Thank goodness. Okay, so I'm Chris. Arie always begins her letters that way. That was my throat. That was a weird sound. I take it this is
こっ
Arie.
ちは相変わらずのいい天気です。少しだけでもそっちに分けてあげたいくらいに。そんな些細な天気のことでさえ、クリスと遠く離れていることを思い出さずにはいられないなんて、辛いことだよね。もう3年近くこんな生活が続いたんだって、最近ふと思い起こしてみました。この月が終わって、年が明けて、あと2ヶ月もしたら、やっと戻ってこられるんだよね。そのことに気づいてから、少しだけ時間が経つのが遅くなった気がします。別れてすぐも辛かったけど、こういう時間もちょっと辛いかな。そして、その日が来るのが少し怖いくらい。そんなのおかしいかな。
Does that sound weird? No, I don't think it sounds
今
weird.
年の終わりもいつもみたいに一緒に過ごせたらと思うけど、発表のこともあるからまだどうなるかわからないよね。それに私の方もまだちょっとわからないんだ。
You better
ナ
make
ターレ
it.
前の手紙くらいで細かいことを報告するから、クリスもお願いします。そうそう、
So. Okay.
卒業するために発表しないといけない演奏のパートナーがまだ決まってないって、私にはよくわからないけどすごく心配してるみたいだったから、早めに決めた方がいいんじゃないかな。もう1年はさすがに待てないよ。なんだか取り留めがなくなっちゃったね。続きは次の手紙で。アリエッタ。
Okay. So, I believe this is my long distance girlfriend. I think I'm in high school. Chris is in high school, I believe. Domenica. Okay, I looked away from the letter I had just finished reading and played idly with the paper in my hands. It always took a while for the lingering feelings to dissipate. After sitting still for a moment, I finally brought myself to fold up the letter. I gently slipped it back into the elegant envelope, taking care to replace it in the same condition that it arrived in. Then I placed it in the drawer where I stored all her letters. The letters from Arie were so succinct that each one took up only one sheet of paper. Even so, the drawer was almost filled to the brim with them. They were almost a physical reminder of the time that had passed by. As the white letters accumulated in the drawer, she once said, "One day, when that drawer is filled to the brim with your letters, you will come back, won't you?" So in order to keep my promise with her, I continued to send her letters on a weekly basis. That was loud. I closed the drawer quietly and leaned back against the chair. I glanced at the scenery beyond the window, then at the clock to confirm the time. 18:06. 6 o'clock. Oh. Night was approaching. I gotta tell you something. No, it's not that. What's that? Oh, sure, that's balanced enough. Night was approaching rapidly. Even so, the scenery outside wouldn't change that much. The dull, overcast sky would only darken a bit more. The pattern of rain on the window continued incessantly.
何が6時かよ。
Who said that?
さっさと返事出して、アンサンブルしようよ。
What the heck is this? A fairy? What? Forney hopped down from the windowsill to the desk, her supple wings slicing through the air gracefully. What? Then she stopped about 10 centimeters above the desk and hovered there. The wings extending from Forney's back fluttered rapidly, but it didn't look like they were what was keeping her afloat. Everything about her was a wonder. Yeah, I know. I've always read and replied to Arie's letters like this. I was never really pressed for time to write my reply, but since she had said I'd like to read a reply as early as possible, I was just dutifully fulfilling her request. That was all there was to it. Her letters, however, took some time to arrive. If I wrote my letter now and deposited it in the post tomorrow morning, it would arrive there after 2 days. By that logic, a full exchange would span 4 days, so there was a little reason to rush. However, Arie worked at a flourishing bakery in the town we were born and raised. It was so famous that people came from afar just to sample its products. I'd heard that because she was still a trainee, she sometimes even had to had to forego sleep to work. Arie could read my letter as soon as it arrived on Wednesday, but since Friday afternoon was her only time off, she'd have to wait until then to compose a reply. So her letter would arrive on Sunday at noon. The post office was not open on Sunday, so I had a bit of leeway to write my reply. As she mentioned in her letter, this mail exchange cycle had persisted for almost 3 years.
全然わかってないじゃない。
Forney's mad at me. Okay. That took me like 30 minutes. After finishing the reply swiftly, I enclosed the letter in an envelope and sealed it. Afterward, I finally turned toward Forney.
やっと終わり？
Yeah?
まあ、仕方ないか。恋人への手紙ならさ。
Okay. She gave a half-resigned sigh. Then, as if her mood had lightened up, she flapped her wings vigorously. I took out the Fortelle from the case that I carried it to school in and set it up in a corner. I think I read that the Fortelle was or is the instrument that this guy plays, like he's
じゃあ、
super good at it.
はい。
Extending a hand to me, Forney made her usual request. I did as she asked and let her glide onto my palm. Then I transferred her onto the top of the Fortelle. Forney's wings didn't appear to be very useful. They didn't allow her to increase her altitude. As she demonstrated earlier, it seemed as if she couldn't move horizontally without descending. However, when she descended, she could glide for quite a distance. Well now, I dragged a chair before the Fortelle and started tuning. Just about everybody living in this apartment building attended the same school as me. Because we understood each other's need to practice, one could play freely in the middle of the night without worrying about disturbing one's neighbors. You've got some nice neighbors. Shall we begin? She repeated the same sound while her wings flickered rapidly. Then Forney glanced towards me. Okay, before I continue, I just remembered. So the reason I picked this one was this novel, a visual novel. I can't believe I forgot this, but apparently it's like Guitar Hero on the keyboard in a sense. Like I actually have to hit the keys when I play music or something, or when some songs play. And the music in this game is supposed to be really good, so this right here might be my first playing session. A light press by my hand resting on the Fortelle. At the same time, I concentrated on my mind on the sound of the first note. Magic. A power that was necessary to play this instrument. A power that, in ancient times, everyone was said to have to some degree. That power vanished in an instant and was replaced by an equally miraculous power which soon spread throughout the world, electricity. The Fortelle was faint evidence that magic existed in ages past.
曲はいつものでいいね。
Yeah? I pictured the notes in my mind, and then as I played, I pictured myself becoming one of the notes in each chord, existing within the music. Forney, why are you sideways? I actually turned my head sideways because you're standing crookedly. So am I going to play right now? Are you starting this intro sequence, or am I going to play?
それぞれの悲しみがあって
I guess we can
言えない
watch this.
涙がある In the rain 見えるものと見えぬもの静かに目を凝らして帰る場所
Why did you need to play it? Come on. Oh no, did I disable it by accident? I don't know what this means. Okay. I hope I didn't miss it. When the last note faded away, a veil of silence fell across the room. For a moment, the two of us just remained still, so still that we seemed to be holding our breaths. But the moment was quickly shattered by the patter of rain. Jeez Louise, what time is it? 10:40? How long is that song, man?
気持ちよかった。
With her eyes still closed, Forney leaned back against the music stand and sighed absently. She too had become a part of her song. When we first met, Forney introduced herself as a sprite of music. I've come to know better than anyone that was no lie. But frankly, I don't remember that time very well. I was very busy when I first moved into this apartment. She showed up, explained she was a sprite of music who lived in this room, and that was pretty much that. Initially, I suspected that it was all just an illusion, but without a doubt she was in fact real. However, I had been persuaded into performing an ensemble with her. When she noticed my Fortelle, all that ceased to matter. I'd been captivated by the beauty of her voice.